Hey, how's it going? So, I heard about your breakup. I'm just gonna say it. I know what happened, and I know you're going through a tough time right now. But you know what? It's gonna be okay. I know that you're watching this video and you're eating ice cream and you're wishing that ice cream was your ex. But it's okay, because we're going to talk about how to heal your broken heart after a relationship and learn to appreciate the lessons and say thank you to your broken heart and thank you for being able to overcome this experience. So, a lot of times when you're first getting out of a relationship, you really don't want to be out of the relationship. You are clinging on to hope with your heart, whereas in your head you're like, listen, I broke up with them, or they broke up with me, or it didn't work out for whatever reason. But your heart is like, no, I need this person in my life. They're all I have. They're my purpose to live. And so your brain and your heart are in conflict and you're not emotionally integrated. So you're not going to be able to move on until you align your brain and your heart. And this is one of those rare situations where you're going to need to lean on your logic in your brain just a little bit more instead of listening to your heart. Now, always listen to your heart, but in the case of relationships, your heart is on some crazy drugs right now, and you need to say, settle down, heart. Because it's true, your heart is on some drugs right now, and so are you. When you are in love with a person, your brain is releasing some extremely powerful hormones and neurotransmitters to the point where being in love with someone is kind of like being addicted to cocaine or heroin. You are constantly getting these spikes of endorphins and other hormones and positive emotions that are bonding you with this person and the experiences that you have with them. So that's why it's so strongly ingrained in you. So when you have you're just having your normal day, and then suddenly your brain remembers that it's used to getting these chemicals, and you have a memory of your ex, and you're just like, oh shit, my ex, that was so great, but I don't have them anymore, and then you just start crying. And it's not fun, but you have to realize that you're literally in love detox right now. Think of yourself as detox like you would think of someone in alcohol detox or a drug detox. It really is a detox. So that's why a lot of times when people are going through a breakup, they get depressed and they just want to lie in their bed the next day or for days on end, not just the next day. If it was just one day, man, that'd be an easy breakup. But you just want to lie in bed, your body will literally hurt because you are literally going through withdrawals. Now, I work in a mental hospital. I've seen a lot of people withdrawing from both drugs and love, and there are differences, and I'm not going to say they're the same because some drugs have very specific effects, but they're very similar in the way that people withdraw from certain drugs and certain love. Because some people treat love like a drug, and they have this dependency on it. And so, understand that you are detoxing from it, and you had an addiction to this person. If it's really hard and you're going through a really hard time, it's not fun to admit, but you did have an addiction to the love with this person. Like that song, Addicted to Love. It's true. That's a silly song, but you might as well face it, you're addicted to love. And so you have to allow yourself time to heal and realize that you've got some hurdles ahead of you in the coming weeks and maybe for a few months, depending on how long your relationship was. Because I won't lie to you, it's gonna suck. You're used to having these dopamine hits from this partner, this person that you love, and it's not there anymore. And so you're craving them and you want to be with them, and you'll be thinking about all these experiences. Your brain will be bringing up these memories because it's like, hey, where's that partner that gives us all this love and this comfortability and these things we're used to? Where is it? And so the memories come up and you're just like, brain, they're not here anymore, okay? So it can really hurt. And because it hurts so much, we have a resistance to letting go because we're attached, and we need to release that resistance, because when you resist something, you're making it stronger. You are causing an energetic block. And so you are resisting moving on and building the new life. You say, I want to move on, why can't I forget this person? It's because you are still attached to this person and you still aren't letting them go, because your heart doesn't want that. So you got to give your heart some time and really think about it and understand why you're going through this pain. Because eventually you're going to get sick of that pain and you're going to say, I am sick of crying every single day over this person. I'm ready to move on. But to truly move on, you need to understand why you are in this relationship with this person and why it hurts so much that they are no longer there. And it might not just be as simple as, I love them and now they're gone. You have to think about, what were you getting out of that relationship? What was this person doing for you? A lot of times we get into relationships where a partner gives us something that we can't give ourselves. So maybe you never let yourself have fun. You're a very serious and goal-oriented person, and you keep yourself busy all the time, and what your partner did for you was they let you relax and enjoy yourself every once in a while, because you won't let yourself relax and enjoy yourself on your own, so that partner was doing that for you. Or maybe you have really low self-esteem. This is a pretty common one, and you don't love yourself and you don't feel valid, but your partner made you feel loved and valid because you were taking part of what I like to call the Disney bullshit. I know I'm gonna get a million dislikes on this video for all the Disney fans, but it is the Disney bullshit. And hey, I like Disney too, okay? I mean, I have some moral qualms with their company in a lot of ways, but just Disney fans, I'm sorry, but it's the Disney bullshit, and this idea that in order to be complete, the most important thing that you can do in your life is to have a romantic partner. And so you don't feel valid because you believe this. It's been ingrained in you by movies and media and other people, because we all perpetuate this idea in a way, like we need to be in a relationship in order to be complete. That is one of the biggest goals in our life, is finding your one person that makes you complete. But you have to realize your partner was making you feel valid, and you don't need them to do that because you are complete on your own. So that's the thing. You need to become your own source of love and your own source of validation. And this can be really tricky, and you have to do a lot of emotional work. I have some videos on doing just that sort of thing, so I'll go ahead and link that right now. But there are certain reasons why you were so attached to that relationship, and a lot of times it can help to make a pro and con list. This is actually something that I've done while considering whether or not to end a relationship, but it also helps after a relationship. I've done both, in fact. So you write a list of all the good things about the relationship, and then you write a list of all the bad things about the relationship and why it didn't work out. And you can appreciate the good things and the lessons that you've learned from it. And even if it was a bad relationship, even if it was a toxic relationship, there are lessons that you can learn from it, and you can learn to appreciate the experience and say thank you to my horrible relationship partner and this experience, because it's helped me grow. And I'm going to release attachment to that, and I don't need to hate you, because a lot of people will try to hate their partner to get over them, but you really have to release that energy and not hold on to it. And you look at the bad things in the relationship, and then that shows you what you don't want and the reasons it didn't work out, and why you can be grateful that, hey, the relationship is over. And after you've gone through the addiction recovery phase, you might look back and be like, wow, thank God, thank the universe that all of those issues are not my problem anymore, because I'm not in that relationship, and I understand the ways that I had certain weaknesses and certain flaws that made me a vibrational match for that relationship. And Now I know what I need to work on. And also remember that you are addicted to this person, so you're really, really going to keep coming back to thinking about them. And at some point, yes, you want to work through knowing why you love this person and knowing why you were in a relationship and the things that you learn about yourself and doing your shadow work. But at some point, you're just going to have to stop thinking about them. And you don't force yourself, but you have to check yourself and redirect when you start fantasizing and daydreaming about this person and getting back together, because what you focus on grows, and if you keep thinking about this person, you're never going to get over them. Because you're like, why can't I get over this person? All I do is think about them. Well, that's why. All you do is think about them. So yes, give yourself space to heal and feel it, but if you're thinking about them all the time, and you haven't let go of that hope and that attachment, you're never going to get over them because you're constantly thinking about them. They are a huge presence in your mind, maybe even more so than anything else in your life. So one tool that can help is, in a day, give yourself a window of time. Say, okay, for these 15 minutes, or this half an hour, or an hour if you need it, I don't know. Whatever works for you, give yourself a specific period of time where you are allowed to think about them and, feel whatever feelings you need to feel, whether it is love, whether it is anger, whether it is jealousy, whether it is longing, whether it is happiness. Whatever it is that you feel about them, allow yourself to feel it. Don't try and block your emotions. Your emotions are there for a reason, and let yourself feel them, and that will take you down in the process of understanding why you feel that way. But allow yourself a segmented time to feel it, and then you're like, no more. Now I'm doing my thing and living my life. And if the thoughts come up, you're like, yes, my ex, but this. I'm focusing on this part of my life right now. And that's really going to help you out, because if you keep thinking about them all the time, you're just never going to get over them. And then you can say, that relationship was no longer serving me, and I am thankful for the lessons that I have learned. Thank you for my broken heart, because it's taught me a lot. But my heart's not actually broken. It was just, a little roughed up. It's going to heal, and I'm going to heal myself, and I'm going to understand those aspects of myself that are no longer serving me, and I'm not going to get into that same relationship, because I'm actually going to learn from it and move forward. And you can let go of your resistance, and then you start working on yourself. And I know a lot of people don't want to hear this, and they want the Band-Aid and the instant gratification, and a lot of people will be like, go hook up with someone, it'll make you feel better. But honestly, I've heard some people who say, yeah, it made them feel better, and maybe that'll work for you. So actually, I'm not going to tell you not to do that, but I will say that a lot of people are not an emotional match to that strategy of just hooking up with someone after a relationship, because I've heard a lot of people who've done that, and they felt horrible, because now you're using someone, and you're involving someone else in your issues because someone hurt you. You're going to go and hurt someone else, and a lot of times it's not kosher. People aren't okay with that. They don't know that you just want someone else to feel loved because you're going through withdrawal. If they knew that, they probably wouldn't be engaging in such behaviors with you. Or maybe they would, if you're cool with it, if everyone is informed and has informed consent, go for it. You do you. But you start working on yourself and focus on yourself rather than being in a relationship. Think about, who is the person that I want to be, and what is the life that I want to build for me, independently of whether or not I'm in a relationship. And you learn to appreciate yourself, and you learn to love yourself. And that's one of the biggest things, is learning to love yourself and being your own source of love and validation. Because if you haven't learned this lesson yet, no relationship is going to satisfy you. You will never really be fulfilled, because you're dependent on someone else to feel love for yourself. Because you don't allow yourself to love yourself unless someone else loves you. Unless you are buying into the Disney bullshit. Unless someone else loves you, you won't love yourself because you believe that you need someone else to love you to be lovable. You need to be loved to be lovable. But you're super lovable. Look at you. You big crying mess with your ice cream. But really though, you are lovable and you are good enough no matter what. And you have to understand that you need to be your own source of love, because when you depend on others for love, you're constantly trying to get validation and love from someone else, and it's never a never-ending struggle. Instead of loving yourself, you're like, I need someone else to love me and validate me so then I can feel good about myself and kind of love myself. But you learn to really love yourself, and I have videos on that, so I'll link them up right now, and be your own source of love and validation so that you have an unlimited supply of love, and then you don't get into bad relationships just because you want to feel loved and just for the sake of being in a relationship. You learn to build the life that you want to live, and then when you love yourself and know and can envision what type of life that you want, then you can be more selective and specific and find a better match to you for the type of partner that would fit into your life. And you're not just like, oh wow, somebody loves me, hee, let me just instantly get into a long-term relationship with them. No, that's not healthy. You love yourself, so you're like, you know, this person's pretty cool, but we're not a match, and I'm not even trying to be in a relationship at this point. So in your process of recovery, you might come to that point where you're like, being single? Hell yeah, it's awesome, and I'm not so desperate to be in a relationship anymore because I've learned to love myself and be happy without a partner. And then you'll find someone who's really right for you, because you'll be like, wow, I really love myself and I love my life, but this person, I'm thinking, they might actually make my life even more awesome, because we're both two wholes coming together to create something great. And you're still going to be independent in your own source of love, but you have this other person that you love even though you don't need them. You love them because you love them. And that's what real love is, and that's what a real relationship is you love the person because you love them for who they are, for their beautiful existence, rather than loving them because they fulfill a need in you, because they buy you things, or because they make you feel important, or feel social status, or they fulfill that need of love and validation so you can love yourself. So it is a long process, and you're going to experience some pain, but you can learn from it, and your broken heart is actually a healing heart. So remember that, and remember that you're going to make it through this, and give yourself time and go easy on yourself. So that's the video. I hope you liked it. If you did like it, please go ahead and like this video and subscribe. Go ahead and share it with all of your depressed, heartbroken friends. I know I'm going to do that. Much love to all my allies out there, and I'll be seeing you on the next video. Bye.